I've always been proud of what we consistently achieve at Fuji Xerox. The company is legendary for innovation. There is a culture within the team of wanting to stay in front of the curve, always looking for a smarter way, more efficiencies. However, as with all large companies, there are groups within that resist, and sometimes for good reasons. But on this occasion, there was no choice. We had to make a change. We had a new playbook, we had a mission, and we had a game to win. Our plan was to line up all our marbles and stonk our competition. David and I felt that we needed a secret chapter in our playbook, something highly innovative and would make it very simple for a customer to afford the print solution they wanted. Years earlier, I'd worked with a smart team of online banking and finance software developers. Their application was ahead of its time. However, we now had a perfect storm: mobile apps, internet anywhere, anytime, and a compelling reason for better security and fraud prevention when processing applications. I reconnected with them to check out what they had in the lab. I wasn't disappointed. Digital signatures built into mobile apps, lots of security, and intuitive to use. Within a few months, we had a functional finance transaction engine ready to roll out to our 1,000 plus reseller base. Apart from the branding and some cosmetic changes, the app was ready to go. Then the worst thing imaginable happened. An event that threatened to put an end to Fuji Xerox technology finance. It had such wide-ranging implications that the chairman and 5 senior executives had to resign. The Transact IT project seemed dead on the runway before it had launched, and then something unexpected happened. Over the ensuing days, it became obvious that the Transact IT transaction engine was the miracle solution the company needed to reinvigorate Fuji Xerox technology finance. It ticked all the boxes for efficiencies, security, and profitability. To fully understand how innovative the app is, let's take a quick look at how deals were done prior to Transact IT. In simple terms, the business development manager would meet the client either in their offices or in the Fuji Xerox showroom. The business development manager would conduct a needs analysis, show the client a range of possible solutions, and then, in consultation with the client, select the right solution. The client would be offered a Fuji Xerox technology finance option to acquire the equipment. In other words, a lease. If the client agreed, the business development manager would then commence the process of completing the paperwork. Sounds simple, but the process of completing the paperwork can be enormously time-consuming. Multiple signatures, equipment needs to be handwritten, the potential for errors, forms need to be up to date, and a variety of manual administration processes need to be adhered to ensure the application is processed without error. If the client and the salesperson successfully navigate that process, the client is then told the equipment will be delivered in a few days and approval will accompany the equipment. At this stage, the salesman really has no idea if the lease is going to be approved, as there is no pre-approval function in this manual paper process. After the client exits, the business development manager sits down and faces the process of sorting the paperwork. Are all the forms signed? Are the forms current? The equipment needs to be checked that it's been itemised correctly. The math adds up the right way. Basically, they need to ensure that what's been documented is what the customer wants delivered. They need to check that the finance questions have been answered accurately and completely, and even down to the smallest amount of detail to make sure that the credit compartment can at least read the customer's handwriting. The process is lengthy and frustrating for the salesperson. In addition, it simply slows down the entire loan approval. For salespeople operating in the field, manually processing the paperwork adds extra complexity. Working from their car, trying to scan documents from a mobile phone, transmitting large documents are all moving parts that can fail at any time. Now, let's have a look at Transact IT and see how it improves every facet of the leasing process. Customer elects to complete a Fuji Xerox Technology Finance Application Form, a lease. The Business Development Manager retrieves his iPad and starts the pre-approval process, which is done within a few seconds online. At that point, both the salesperson and the client are better than 90% confident the lease will be approved in the shortest possible period. Once pre-approved, the salesperson confidently keys in the customer details into the iPad or mobile phone or laptop. The application performs most of the math, pulls from the stock database ensuring the equipment's described accurately, and also accesses offline databases like ASEC to check on ACN and ABN numbers. The customer then simply digitally signs the application on the screen and clicks submit. And that's it. A digital version of the forms are forwarded to the credit department for processing. What's important to note is that the customer can't sign off on the docs on the screen unless all mandatory fields have been completed accurately. This ensures that there's less scope for error in processing the lease and the transactions completed in the shortest possible time frame. Transact IT, paperless, fast, efficient, and a very profitable way of closing more business